Hello, hi, it's John. I'm in my camper van, as you can probably tell. It's windy outside, which is very typical for Orkney. It's sunny, which is less typical for Orkney. So yesterday we visited the Ring of Brodgar, which is just incredible. It's quite close to here, 15 minutes away, so I'll definitely go back again. Check out that video where I go and have very magical experiences, including crying happy tears with such an overwhelming, beautiful, magical adventure. Also right next to it, the stones of Stainess, and they were just phenomenal as well. And I had a really long sleep because I'd driven overnight to get here, so just crammed in those visits just at the end of yesterday. And we're here in the campsite now. There's a lot of opportunity for wild camping here. You can off-grid camping, should I say. It never feels that wild in a it's so wild in a camper van. It's so cozy, right? There's people, like there's someone out there, I'll turn the camera around in a moment, but there's people just camping randomly around the coast and stuff, and it's beautiful. There's plenty of provision for them, and there's signs to support the best behaviors from everyone. So that's really lovely to see. So let me show you around a little bit, because I want to show you. Before I do, I just wanted to remind myself, John. So I woke up at 8 a.m. this morning, which is really late for me. Usually I get up at 5 a.m., so that was great. But the shock of how long it takes me to get everything ready. Now I've not tidied my camper van right, so or should I say not for you, but you have to do things like make the bed. I had to put the microwave away, so the kitchen takes constant reconfiguration, and I had a shower in the morning, which is fantastic. So we went for a run. We went, and just perfectly timed as the grass cutter turns up. We ran along. There's a path that runs all the way along here, and somewhere past these camper vans here, you can just see in the distance, somewhere past them to the right, or should I say to the west, you would is where I recorded that video this morning. Yeah, it took me. You're gonna think, how does it take John so long to do these things? From 8 a.m., literally getting out of bed at 8 a.m. to the total things I've done this morning are go for a run, which is about 30 minutes, have a shower. I have a very short shower because there's not a huge amount of water on board in the camper van. I had breakfast. I did a Hi, It's John video. So I uploaded the running video and the Hi, It's John video. Hi, it's John, and today a meditation video. And then I tidied the van and had a coffee. So it is surprising that it is now, let me check the time, is 11:27. It's like, hang on, that's a lot of hours. But then I do cram in a lot. I thought I'd just show you Patch, who I think is enjoying the sun. Oh, he's so cute. You're so cute, Patch. So yeah, we bought quite a lot of stuff, extra power banks, and my Sonics camera, plenty of food for Patch. I bought loads of supplies and food, and let me give you a little bit of a tour of the view, because if I don't do it now in the sunshine, maybe the sunshine won't be back. So just before we head out on adventure, so, well, first of all, if I kind of, yeah, let's just start from here, right? So this is the entrance to Stainess. No, not Stainess. Stromness. Stromness. This is where the ferry comes into. Now we've just missed the ferry, but what you can see here is this looks like a fishing boat coming in. The ferry's massive. It's like a giant ship. I don't know how many boats it takes, but it takes a lot. So how many boats it takes? How many vehicles it takes? It's a lot. And then we have, and no, I've not cleaned my windows just for this video. There's a lighthouse. It's fantastic. And these skies are beautiful. The water here, you won't be able to see it in this video really, but just incredibly clear. I would open my van doors, but we'll get a bit of a blasting from the wind. So here, this guy who's, let me just put my camera against the window, is cutting the grass, and right here you can just see the flag. Can you make it out? It's really funny. It doesn't. The flag's so thin it doesn't really show much in video, but there it is there. So this is a golf course, and it's so funny because I was thinking, oh look, there's the hole. This is where people are going to be firing their balls at. In fact, there's a guy over there. I think he's about to fire his ball at me. Not at me, or maybe in the other direction. There he goes, opposite direction. So yeah, I was a bit surprised when I sat down to eat my dinner yesterday, and these people turn up standing outside the van here, and and they were putting. I was like, wow, that's unexpected. And I wondered, well, what if they, if a golf ball hits my van, it would just go straight through one of the windows. And in my paranoia, I just decided to put the back of the van towards the golf course, because these windows, although I'm sure they're very expensive, they're lightly cheaper than the windscreen. That said, if your windscreen breaks, you can claim it on insurance, and it's like a whole industry, right? Maybe the windscreen would be better, even though it costs more money. Last time I think it cost me about £600 to replace. So yeah, just here you might be able to see, this is the going out into the Atlantic Ocean there. So look at those waves just barreling away. Now the wind is only, according to the Met Office, 20 to 23 miles per hour, which isn't insignificant, right? But it is whipping up a storm. So I'll be interested to see what the weather's like when we head back on the ferry. It might be more of an adventure. Good news is I've got a kind of lounge ticket for Patch and I, so we can go inside if we want to. And then over here you can see a bit more of the campsite. There's the campsite warden's hut. There's been a mix of tents and camper vans, and then this town down here. Now I've not been into it. We've driven just around the outside of it, but it's a really small town. This is Stromness, so it's too small, too narrow to drive even my camper van, my 6-meter camper van through it. So that'd be interesting. Then straight ahead, that's where the ferry goes in. And that's your tour. And I need to hit the road because I want to make the most of the sunshine. I just want to say thank you for all your love and support and all your comments. It's just been really powerful. I also am very grateful for the places you've suggested that we go and visit. So I've been adding those to my Google Maps, and I've been looking at those. And I won't just run from place to place. I'm going to take a little bit of time, especially in the camper van. You've got everything. I can stop for lunch, eat, go to the toilet, whatever I need to do, and then upload a video, edit the video, respond to the comments, all those things I love, and then move on to the next place. So thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello. So our next destination is Skara, Brae. Let me just show you. There's a wee ferry that is heading past us just now. You just see it coming into view. I believe I can get around through the campsite this way and give you a bit of a tour. So this is very cool. It's a wonderful campsite. Maybe one of the most beautiful I've ever been to. Someone fishing at the end. Let's see if we can get my camper van in here. Wow, it is toasty warm. Let's open up some windows. It was quite cold earlier today. Jeans and a t-shirt and a top weather, and now the sun's out and it's It's incredible. The good thing is, when you're living in your camper van for a few days, you're carrying everything with you, so I did bring shorts. So it is just a few minutes drive away. We're going to a very magical place. So far it's been a slow start to the day. We are now up on midday at lunchtime. Oh, someone's... Oh no, they're not tents, they're... we just passed on the left. Bivy bags, I think you'd call it. So it's a sleeping bag, but you can sleep outside in it, like you don't need a tent. I think it just has like a wee hood for your face, which is very cool. Passing some boats, and yeah, we'll definitely do a tour into Stromness, this little village here. That'd be a lot of fun. I did have an unfortunate encounter this morning after doing the dishes, that I must have emptied too much water. I filled up the sink too much, because when it came to empty, some of it started coming back into the shower tray, and I was like, oh, it's like, what is this? Where did all this come from? And it's like, oh, it looks quite a lot like that stuff that I was just cleaning off my dishes. So that was a bit of a surprise. But you know what? Everything else has been working fantastically, and it's been lovely being on. They call it electric hookup. I think in the US it's called shore power, which refers to when boats are ashore. Yeah, beautiful town this. I was just reflecting on how, oh, did you notice I cleaned the windscreen for you? Just for you. It's not perfectly clean. It makes a big difference when you're not trying to stare through a poor carcass of a bug that died. But yeah, it's... Oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was just reflecting on the fact that my camper van is all grey on the inside. When it was built, it was very much all the fashion, all the rage. A lot of this town is also quite grey as well. It's a very Scottish thing to do, but I like it because it also matches the stone, a lot of the dry stone walls. And I remember the first time I visited here when I was 16, just being impressed at how many of these stone walls there are. The dry stone walls, you know, they don't have any cement, no lime mortar or anything, and they're just everywhere. And it seems to play to the culture of the Scottish, which is that we're very strong on boundaries. See, here's another example. This is a stone wall, just stones stacked up on top of each other. Good thing is, if it falls down, you just stick it back up, right? You don't need to wait for some specialist mason to come and rebuild it. The downside is it might fall down more, but yeah, really, really fascinating. So we go right up here. Roundabout. And I just get a little bit worried that we're driving into the very centre of the town, which I don't want to do because it's too narrow for camper vans. So we're just really on the edge of it here. But looking forward to walking into it. And then I wonder if that guy's training running up and down the hill. I love hills. I'm intrigued what the population of Orkney is. These are all things that any of us can Google, right? Other search engines are available. But yeah, really, really beautiful weather. And down to the right, we can just see the ferry ports where I came in. It's a nice camper van. Oh, I'm so excited for today. And just making the most of it. It'll be so... I would love to come back here. I would absolutely come back. When I first came here, it seemed so... As a child, it seemed so far away and desolate. And really, I'd never even looked up on any maps to see how long it would take to drive up here. And when I realised it's similar to what I did recently, was it April, May? Driving down into Devon and Cornwall, I was like, wow, I could do this. It's doable. And definitely a big fan of driving overnight. If you've not heard me say it in other videos, especially these single lane roads during, if you want to travel, especially during the peak seasons, and you enjoy it, you've got to want to do it, right? Yeah, just down here is a big co-op, which is fantastic. So we're going round here and to the left, and let's keep an eye out for standing stones, because there are just so many of these beautiful sights around here. I must admit, this place is a heaven to me. It has all these. It has everything, right? So it has this beautiful isolation, and it's also incredibly stunning. The some cows over there on the right. Incredibly stunning to visit. It has internet, which is great. In fact, we're just passing a big tower up on the hill there. It has all these, for thousands and thousands of years, people have lived here, and they left us these truly incredible sites to visit. And just checking on my time, because it feels like we're close. It says 12:22. Another 10 minutes, so wow. I thought it said 6 miles away. Maybe it's 6 miles, not 6 minutes. There's also really beautiful walks. You can, a lot of, I don't know if all of these places, but a lot of these tourist attractions are free, and they're open 24/7. I mean, isn't that incredible? And I love the idea, because it spreads or encourages to spread, the traffic over time. Kirkwall is I think it's the capital. Is that right? Oh, Skara Brae left here. Okay, great. Thank you. A little bit about the history of Skara Brae, because I suspect it's going to be busy. And although maybe I should ask my sacred site, my ancient site fairy, please make sure that this site is nice and quiet for when I go. And I suspect it's going to be very windy as well, because it's right down at the shore. And what happened is there was a storm, so no one knew about the site. And then there was a storm that eroded some of the land around it and exposed some of the top. And so now what's discovered is this little village and the settlement, and you can just see when you go there. I mean, I don't need to describe it all, because you'll see it. It almost like waist height settlement, And I feel some of that is, we'll have lost any roofing, and likely some height, but also because we were shorter back then, which is really funny. Humans were shorter. I'd be really interested in the energy of it. When I visited it 30 years ago when I was 16, I do remember we had a VHS recorder, and it was one that my dad had bought for work, and we took it with us. It seemed 30 years ago seemed a really advanced piece of technology to have, and I'm not so sure we should have been using it down near saltwater, etc. I think it was super rugged. It was huge. You sat it on your shoulder, and had this little black and white viewfinder. And I remember I would so love to see that footage. Although it was very cringe seeing me back then as a 16-year-old, had a huge fringe and short hair, but a massive fringe flopping over the front of my face. And I was gangly and all those things that teenagers are. But I remember this visit vividly. It obviously helps coming back as well and reactivating some of these memories. But I do remember the feeling when I was there. I was, in some respects, I didn't know what to expect, and I was a little disappointed about the kind of state of ruin of it. But then, given that it sat underground for thousands of years, which has likely, helped preserve it, well, I'm sure it has helped preserve it. That was, to be expected, right? So I'm excited to see this time, to feel this time, what the energy of the place feels like. Definitely feeling a crosswind. Just beautiful. It's constantly surrounded. It's this ever-repeating pattern of road, these flattened areas, roads, and either sea or like salt marshes. Like little locks, little lakes next to you. Just stunning. There's also a lovely vibe to this place. Everyone seems very welcoming, and you feel the party-like atmosphere, yet not in a destructive, I want to get out my face, on drugs or alcohol type feeling. Some of the people I've been chatting to, and yes, I've been doing it, I've been chatting to people. Oh, there's a sign coming up here. What is this place? Oh, it just says keep going for Skara, Brae, and the Grail House. Apparently that's important. Maybe we'll take a look at that. So we go straight on here. Cool. I feel like we're going off the beaten track already. There's no lines on the road. What will I do? How will I cope? Chatting to people, and I found myself being much more making the effort just to say hello. So I'm often so shy in person, being like that my whole life. And Patch is a great icebreaker, so what I do is it's incredible that a 16-year-old version of me, 16-year-old of me, came along this road 30 years ago, before the internet, before phones, before all these technologies that are part of day-to-day life. Now I forgot what I was saying. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, talking to people. Yeah, it's just wonderful because you get to know a bit about their stories, right? I met a couple when I was queuing to get my water filled up, and they're apologizing for it taking so long, and little did I know how long it would take. I must have caught them something like halfway through, and you think, oh, it's not that bad. I think it took mine about 40 minutes to fill up my water tank, and it's just not that big. I think it's about 80 litres. Oh, I love this look to the left. You see the grass, the waves flowing through the grass. So yeah, talking to people, they were here to cycle. They're a retired couple. Quite recently, they bought a camper van, which we were chatting about, camper vans, and some of the small talk, some of my small talk, I cringe at. I asked them, because I was curious about their camper van, so I just said, well, how long have you had your camper van? It's like, why does it matter? If they said 1 day to 10 days, why would it matter? Or 10 years. But it was lovely. We chatted a bit about it, and about our camper vans and how both of them are quite similar sizes. And anyway, it was good to learn that they brought their bikes, so they're cycling. Able to see them out and about, boot in the boots. Have we got, how many more minutes have we got left? Oh, it's only another 4 minutes. I'll piece all these together into a video. Maybe I'll do a what I learned, or some sort of debrief video of this adventure. There was a continuation of these beautiful black horses. Wow. I'm just on this whole road all by myself. I was receiving this download of how people back in my previous lifetime, so this is about 3,000 years ago, or 3,500 years ago, people would, it would be a role within a clan or within a village, within a family, for at least one of the members to practice their psychic abilities. And they believed that, and if this feels Pictish, which is really fascinating. So little is known about the Picts. Even the name is a Roman name, the Roman nickname for Picts, because it just means paint. It refers to painted, or the painted ones, and it's because they painted their faces. And so what's funny is, I was shown that each of these family members would, or tribe member would take on the role of connecting with others during meditation and during dream time. I've got another car behind me. I don't think we'll get past, maybe. We did it. So connecting in dream time and talking with each other, because we didn't have an internet, right? Especially when you're in a different islands to others, it's actually really hard to get someone to send a message. So it would be done in meditation, and teams would form, and not just within. So these are virtual teams. It's just like, imagine, I have the Divine Sparks membership group. We are using technology primarily to connect with each other, as 20 or so people around the world. So what's fascinating about that is that before these technologies, it's something that we can do ourselves and practice ourselves. And I feel this is a really these teams that we would create are really powerful, and we would help influence the tribe, the family, the rest of your clan. You know, whether there was work to do together, whether there was specific things that we need to be aware of. We could do energy work, work with ley lines, you know, all these things. Skara Brae. Here we go. Whoa, it's so busy. Hey John, you're coming in the peak of summer. And this is just, you know, for mental awareness, really. Some lovely bulls either side. Really, it just brings awareness to the fact that we have this capability as humans, and isn't that a lovely thing to do, to, you know, to acknowledge? Oh, these big bulls. Wow, they are massive, big, powerful bulls. Okay, let's see if we can get a space. One way only. Camper van parking. Oh, this is nice. God, these guys, you spoil us. Look at these camper vans. Wow, so I can squeeze my butt in here, so to speak. Wow, Patch. You're so lucky. Well, this is easier said than done. I've now created a giant space between us. Let me try again. I'm trying to do my best to park responsibly. You can do it, John. Camper van parking. What an amazing concept. Thank you, Orkney Council. And it's really dark on my camera. Oh, it's so hard getting in. And they put these cones here. There we go. Thank you. Beep, 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 beep. So just pretending with the beeps. I think that's us, Patch. Yeah, don't want to go any further back. We're here, Patch. We did it. We're at Skara Brae. And Patch looks incredibly cute, so just saying hello. Say hello, Patch. Are you excited? You excited, buddy? Yes, you are. We're gonna go for a walk. Yeah? Let's do it. Hello from my selfie stick. We have a small problem. They don't allow dogs. No! I am sure 5,500 years ago they would have allowed dogs. So I think I'm going to give it a go without Patch. He'll only be 10 minutes by himself in the camper van. And especially if someone's pulled up next to us, he'll have less to stare and bark at. And it's really not too warm for him to be in there. So, if you're ready for it, Patch. Oh, and also it's not free. It's £16 in fact for an adult. But I think that gives you access to a house and the place itself. So it looks like I'll be leaving Patch. I'll ask when to go in if you're allowed dogs, in which case I'll just come back out and collect him, but at the moment they don't even let you in to get tickets with a dog, so sorry, Patch. Okay, well, we made it. We're in without Patch. So this is the reconstruction, which is really close by. Let's take a wee look. It's the 5,000-year-old settlements, so fragile. Oh, it's so cool. I mean, it's literally cool in here. It's cold. Wow. Yeah, this is bigger than I expected. Hello. Wow, it's huge. Let's take slowly around here and check out the boat. This is so cool. I know that they would even travel to different countries within these little boats. So it's just a frame, a wooden frame, and then animal skins to waterproof it. We got some pottery. I wonder if any of this stuff is original. I wonder if any of the stones were even used. And this looks like storage. And then, I don't know what's in here. Is this like a chimney? I don't know. Or maybe an oven? Wow, it's pretty advanced. For 5,500 years ago, right? Maybe a fireplace? There's no signs. Oh yeah, here's some fish. They're not real. Some lobster, pre-cooked. Sorry, not yeah, pre-cooking, not cooked yet. It's very quiet in here. I bet even when there's raging storms, I believe that this would be ground level. Up to there. Wow, very cool. And it says this way. So let's head through. I'd lovely to get it to myself as well. And outside, it's the Skara Braes to the right. Apparently. Let's go. Let's go on a trek. Let's take in the atmosphere as we go. They said the centre opened in 1998. So 32 years ago it didn't exist. In fact, there was just no drones. I'm so glad I didn't obsess about buying a drone, because if I had, I wouldn't be able to use it. This walk will take you back in time 5,000 years. First moon landing, 1969. Telephone invented, 1876. American Declaration of Independence, 1776. Now these are all spaced apart at the different intervals. So Inca civilization, AD 1400. You can just see some people congregating over here, which I guess is where it is. The First Crusade, 1095. This is so cool, we're going back in time. It's quite a walk, right? Nondescript stone. And look at this beautiful view. I feel like the selfie stick is less stable, but it's more agile than and easier on my wrist. And then we have Fall of Rome in AD 476. So if I think that it's a long time ago, 32 years ago since I was last here, these time scales, that's just a drop in the ocean from these time scales. And yeah, 32 years ago you could run around inside of it, whereas I suspect now you can't. So this is the Parthenon, 480 BC. Let's go back in time. Very cool. I'm trying to not film a bunch of people as well as I go. And this is the Temple of Solomon, 962 BC. And now there's like these ever increasing gaps between the stones, so it really feels, you really feel the difference. And I'm gonna head out on the path. I wonder if it's like a one-way system. Yeah, just incredible. I think I'll head up just here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it does feel that it's important to understand how our ancestors lived. How do we learn without, when we forget our past? Look at this beach. Oh my God, Patch would love this beach so much. I'll look into whether I can get Patch down on it. Wow, incredible. And speaking of which, I need to hurry up because he doesn't like being left. So far it's been about 10 minutes. Stonehenge, 2100 BC, if you believe it. It didn't say if you believe it, I just added that. And what's the next stone here? The Pyramids of Giza, 2500 BC, if you believe it. Right. And let's take a look around here. Wow, very cool. So here we are, an ancient village 5,000 years ago. A community of farmers lived at Skara Brae in these partly underground homes and inhabited and left tools, furniture and artwork valuable clues to how they lived in their lives. And that was a gaming dice, a whalebone pin and a mysterious carved stone ball. Well, that's really cool. Wow. Take a look. So this is 5,500 years old. It looks smaller than the replica. So as I came in, the guy wanted to make sure that I didn't walk on the grass at all, and just to be careful on the narrow ledge. So it says, Skara Brae was built in two main phases. Little is known about the first, since further investigation would require demolition of later houses. The building in front of you is one of the earliest Skara Brae. It is a similar plan to the later houses, except the box beds are built into the wall rather than projecting into the room. And the furniture is made from local flagstones, which are readily available to shape. Yeah, these flagstones are amazing. So when I was here 32 years ago, there'll be a VHS video of me somewhere running around with my little brother, in and out and through these. And that's a roof. So that's incredible. I must have gone inside. So it contains 7 of the best preserved stone carvings found. In 1929 it was fitted with shielding glass roof, but studies revealed that it was creating temperature changes that caused the carvings to flake. So a decision was taken to re-roof it with turf. And they continued to monitor it. There's number 7. Visit a replica of House 7. Sevens! All I see is 7s, my lucky 7s, next to the visitor centre. Wow, that's incredible. Maybe that's where I live. Maybe that's why they want me to see this. My guides are right now jumping up and down saying, yes, John, that's it. You lived here. Don't you remember? Well, forgive my memory of my past lives. Any memories, any kind of visuals and experiences I've been having have been that the coastline was quite a lot further out back then. 5,500 years of erosion has taken its toll, which makes it hard to remember. Access to the sunken houses was from a limestone passage, and this was roofed over to give protection to the elements. Each house had a stone and wooden slab serving as a door, which could be secured with a wooden bar or whalebone. And there's the plan. So we're just here. Living area, hearth, drain. They reckon 50 to 100 people, 10 structures, most of the houses remain. I don't know what this is, toilets or something? It's incredible. If I hadn't known about, hadn't visited back here, Oh wow, those seals. I think they're seals down there. Seals, hello. There's one. Really far away, so it's not really showing on camera. But if you look just this, my finger's going to be giant, right? If I can get it to turn up. Ah, there. You see it. Wonderful. And then, oh no, accidentally made it dim. This was the only building which settlement was not a house, so the central hearth and lacks beds and a dresser. Sorry, it lacked beds and a dresser. Structure 8 appears to have been a workshop for stools, pottery and other wooden implements. Amazing. Wow. It's amazing. I'm so amazed they've managed to preserve it so well, especially during the last 32 years since I was last here. And given its location, I wonder if they'll enclose it at some point, because it's just continually still battered by the weather, and it hasn't spent all this time, being shown. It hasn't spent all this time above ground. It's incredible. This is what they built, and it still stands today. And reusing refuse, the buildings and entrances were set into a mound of domestic refuse, a midden, consisting of decomposed food waste, shells and bones to a compost heap. And the midden came from an earlier settlement nearby and was brought. He was the first stage of building. It provided stability for the walls and helped maintain insulations. The houses were entered from a partially underground passage. Wow, look at this. It's amazing what they built. Take a wee look around here. Wow, look at this. So this is a reconstruction of the one we went in. Wow. And they've done a really good job with the reconstruction. It's so similar. And great views. I wonder if they chose the property because of the views. That's built here. Just incredible. Let's follow the path around. It's another open space. I love that they lived in the ground. There's something so beautiful and powerful about that. And it feels like that's, if there's one message that they want to share with us, is to reconnect with the earth. To be back. To live in the earth. And I love their refuse was part of the midden was part of the constructions of the place as well. So they're entirely self-contained. And just look at this view is just incredible. And that beach is to die for. Wow, well I really better get back and see Patch. Just phenomenal. Is this I know it looks like a drain, but so it must be the drain down there. Wow, incredible.
And I take a jumper off.
That's it.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you soon. So I better head back and see Patch. Just beautiful. There's a camper van right down there, straight ahead.
We'll find the beach.
That's great, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, if you're considering coming down here, I would highly recommend it. I think they want me to go right now. The admission, I think I'm going to go left. So that replica was just, you know, when someone says, oh, we created a replica of reconstruction, and you're thinking, oh, I don't want that. I want the real thing. And yet it was so cool to, you know, to be in it, you know, made from the same stones from the area. They've done such a fantastic job in creating it. And what a stunning beach and a stunning view I can get. I can go up a wee bit on the path on the way back. Let's have a look. And yes, it was £16, but I must stop saying but. It's just a lazy habit. Magic views and an incredible place to visit, and I loved it. There's this desire, this key message for us to reconnect with the earth, to live with the earth once more. And I do feel the less you have, the closer you become to your surroundings. Oh, there's someone swimming in the sea over there. Amazing. And not in a wetsuit, just in his shorts. Incredible. Well, I seem to have ended up randomly wandering across the grass, so I'm gonna head back onto here. But yeah, just phenomenal. And isn't it funny that my guides were saying, John, you used to live there. It's like, really? I mean, it's not that I don't trust them. I do trust my guides. It's just, I feel, whenever you come to these famous places, it's like, if I really lived in all the famous places, you just, you know, it just takes time to integrate. Thank you for bearing with me as I held the camera quite low a lot of today. Just, I wanted to make sure that I respect other people's privacy. Looks like I can go either way and head here. Oh, there's a pause. my selfie stick, if you press the button accidentally, it pauses the video. Glad we have been recording the whole time. But yeah, I'll say goodbye to this. I think it will have been about 15 minutes that I'll have left patch. And there's some sort of demonstration going on. Very cool. That's a knife demonstration. Lovely. And there's the reconstruction. So that's what it would have looked like on the outside, I guess. You wouldn't know that people lived in it, right? Well, okay, they put a big metal grill across this, but you wouldn't know at a distance. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Skara, Brae. Thank you, Reconstruction. Thank you to my guides. Thank you to my ancestors. Helping preserve this place. Just a real honour. And I'm going to head back to the van. And I'll take Patch out immediately after because he loves that. Okay, good news. Patch is okay. He survived. He was whole. Must have been just under 15 minutes total. And as you can probably tell from what I'm wearing, it's not warm. In fact, I think it was cooler in the camper van than it is outside. So that's nice. Glad that you're feeling happy again, Patch. And actually, I expected him to be sat out in the, it's not my camper van, but mine's behind it. I thought he'd be sat out in the front cab area barking, but he was just inside, nervously barking. Yeah, he's fine. It's so rare I do that, Patch. Thank you for that gift. So I'm here, so I wanted to take Patch a walk and also just connect with this incredible experience again, and this remembrance. And today's meditation message was a practice I've never tried or used before, but my guides were teaching me to take your right hand, hold, like imagine a key within your hand, and place the key into your heart and unlock your heart, and place your right hand over your heart and receive, which I find interesting. Usually I receive my left hand, receive into your right hand the secrets and superpowers and activations, and then bring them into, bring them into your brain. So place your hand on your head, into your conscious awareness. And this looks like, this stone looks like a gate post, but looks very similar to many of the other standing stones. Now, I don't know. I don't think you can get down to the beach. I don't think there's access, but I'm going to take a wee walk down here just in case there is, because Patch would love it. Oh my god, he would love it so much if we could get down there. Just incredible. So yeah, let me know if you've tried my meditation today and whether you've enjoyed the practice. If you tried it. Hello. There's some bulls either side. There's bulls staring at me, so I don't really know what you do with bulls, other than if they start running at you, run away. Wow, this is stunning. And so far I haven't been on very long walks with Patch. We only arrived yesterday, right? Yesterday late afternoon. Let's connect to the side, Patch. So we had the explorations yesterday and then a run this morning. So it's nice for Patch to get out. But he's just been such a star. And it's amazing. If you don't have a dog, I highly recommend dogs as companions. I would find it pretty lonely without him. There's always someone to talk to. The downside is they don't live longer than humans, dogs, but imagine if it's the other way around. That'd be hard as well, right? Imagine if you're getting close to your deathbed and you're saying, oh, I have to give away my dog because it's going to live another 100 years. But I loved it. I definitely feel with Patch. We've reincarnated before, and together. Thankfully, I was just pointing the camera the other way. So let me pick up Patch's leftovers. I did it. I successfully paused the video and picked up the poo and unpaused. This is great. Oh, I feel so professional. And I do feel that the meditation message today and the guidance from my guides about activating our superpowers, it's a real thing. And it's very tempting as humans to, believe in these external things to us. So we believe in, data, charts, and it's raining, and all kinds of things. Other things that people say, books, teachings, movies, training courses, like all these things. And really, the most important thing is for us to really connect with ourselves, because we hold answers beyond what exists. Since it's raining, I'm heading back. We hold answers within us that are well beyond what exists outside of us. And it's not really part of our culture either. Like, really rarely, and I recently reconnected with a friend who I hadn't spoken to in a few months, and I did the thing of leaving a voice message saying, oh, here's all the things I've been doing, and they were talking about all the things outside of me. It was a little rabbit just turned up to the left. But really, what really impressed me about my friend's response was they spoke about all the things inside of them. So they said, I've been doing a lot of inner work and a lot of shadow work. This is the first things they said, right? And they said, oh, you'll be discovering a lot more and really working on healing and facing fears. And I just feel so different. And their energy was so different. Their energy was so light and bright and clear. So it was really beautiful to experience. Pick you up here, Patch. We're getting stared at from a bull. In the rain. Wow. This is a real rain shower. Not at all pleasant. But yeah, I do highly recommend regular, constant, daily if you can, or weekly, inflection, looking within, facing your fears. And it might be coming out of the rain. You might have a fear like me of coming out in public with a selfie stick, and or had a fear like me that I used to, of filming myself in public and talking as I go. And these things just get easier and easier. The more you do them, the more you face them, because deep inside there's a reason why, and it's, in my experience, typically not the thing you think it is. There's something deep within you that wants to be seen. What if you are actually the best at that thing? What if it's one of your superpowers? So many client sessions I do where in a past life a client has yielded just really beautiful, magical, incredible superpowers, and yet they've been resistant to or scared of using them in this life because they're so powerful, and they're worried about, do they trust themselves with that level of power and ability, and yet they when they face that fear, and at very least just begin to integrate that superpower again, become aware of it, and we share the different daily practices they can do to practice and fully activate it. Then do they realize how important and powerful both the fear was, because fear sometimes is great for identifying these challenges, and then also, hello seagull, and also just a really powerful aspect of giving yourself the time and grace to identify and nurture the aspects of you that need to, so that you can fully integrate and activate again. Okay, Patch, let's go inside. Bing! I'm in my camper van. Yeah, we got pretty soaked, but how fantastic was that? What an incredible experience! Just so grateful for the adventure of coming to Skara, Brae, and just those incredible experiences, be able to see what people have created over 5,500 years ago, if that history is correct, and to be able to feel into, why am I wearing shades inside? To be able to feel into what it was like for them, what it's been like for us as a human race since then, and just really grateful for the experience. And big thanks to Patch, who's now rubbing himself down. Thank you, Patch, for letting me go. And thank you for all your love and support. And let me know in the comments what you experienced. What do you remember living that long ago, longer ago, whether you're human or not? And have you ever been here? Or would you like to visit? Let me know in the comments. Right, take care. Hello, I wanted to add this short message at the end of the video. So, quick update. We're still in the car park for Skara, Brae. As soon as you saw us last, just after we got back from the rain, it's still raining. It's been raining for 2 hours, and the weather forecast changed from being really quite a nice day to raining until 6 p.m. Now that might work out well for me. I'm trying to show you, can I zoom in? Almost, there we go. I've been watching these crows. These crows have been on the wall, or craws as we'd call them here. They've been on the wall. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot of the time there's been 7 or 8. So that's been really cool. And I say that like sounds sarcastic. It's not. It's been lovely seeing them. I wonder why they do that. I wonder why they stand on the wall and they just face into the wind. They look like they're resting, even though it's wind and rain. Anyway, this important message from our ancestors, having visited Skara, Brae, and I feel it's helpful to use the term our ancestors because we're all on this planet together. We're all one human race, and even thousands and millions of years ago, the different species of human, we're all in this together. We're all part of one huge family. And the message was really simple, which is to seek to reconnect more with nature. This was a huge part of their lives. It's also why they dug out so that up to their ceilings, or up to the top of the walls, should I say, in their homes was underground. It was very important for them to be part of the earth, to live and to sleep as part of the earth. And they felt that under the ground, the ground itself is the skin of the earth, and so that you're when you dig into the ground, then you're part of the earth. You're under the skin of Mother Gaia. And also to seek simplicity as a means to rediscovering that reconnection with the earth. And I reflect. I wasn't showing those birds, those crows, for no reason. Who's happier right now? I mean, I know they're outside and it's raining, right? But crows are used to it, right? They're used to being outside. They're born outside. They don't wear any clothes. They're naked all the time, and they don't have mortgages, loans, jobs. Their full-time role is to be a crow, and that's beautiful, right? And me, what do I have that's simple in my life? Well, I mean, I've simplified some things. I don't have a big fancy corporate job anymore. I don't have a 6-bedroom house anymore. We downsized to 4-bedroom, don't have a car anymore. We sold it and we just use the camper van now as our only vehicle. And we sold our holiday home to reduce the complexity of our lives. There's so many things we've done, and yet it's a journey, right? So if I just show you, is this still zoomed in? Yeah, it is. I'm in my camper van, 6 meters long, full of stuff, like all this stuff here. A fridge to keep my food cold, and storage, and cooking devices and electronics, and a TV, and all these things, a fan and a light, and I'm holding a phone, and there's just so many things in my life, and every single thing that's in my life has its own journey, right? It needs taking care of. The man-made things often, or human-made things, they often need some sort of maintenance, and the more of these things, the more stuff we add into our lives, the more we have to look after, right? The more we have to, that it owns us, that it demands of us care and attention. And this is just such a powerful message, and sometimes I get a bit lost in the complexity of my life, and wanting more things and buying new things. I want a night vision camera, I want a skateboard, I want a new camera, I want a selfie stick, or whatever it is that's on, or a drone, which I don't have. All these things that are on my mind, and yet everything needs space, power, it needs your attention, your conscious energy, and it really helped me reconnect with this feeling of simplicity and how important that is. Let me know in the comments. What steps are you taking to make your life more simple? And I don't know if I don't think we own a tent anymore, but that was one of the things I was thinking of, was going camping with as few items as possible. Spending time in nature, and some people do it, with very little, like, just a bivy, sleeping bag, bivy bag, like we saw a couple of the things, like not even sleeping outside in a tent, but just a kind of bag, like a breathable bag over your head, and a waterproof sleeping bag. There's so many things, or just a bivy, creating a small structure in the woods to protect myself from the elements. I do feel more and more drawn to simplicity. So yeah, that is a really beautiful reflection. Let me know in the comments if it resonates with you, and what you're seeking to do in your life to make it more simple, and to help you reconnect more with nature. It's definitely a journey. Definitely a journey. It does make me think, other than the lack of windows, if I did ever build a house, I'd consider building, a lot of it underground. I think that would be really beautiful to do. Great. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Sending love from Orkney in Scotland.